So I'm gonna try out this video diary thing, and I'm trying to talk really quietly because my dad's right outside in his little office, and I don't want him to overhear me. But I decided to try this kind of video diary thing. I want to do it every day that I can. Random times of day, maybe more than once. Sometimes when I'm feeling overwhelmed. Today, I don't know. I never really have good days. I just have days where I'm bad and days where I'm worse. Today's a bad day, but it's not worse. I'll have days where I can't really breathe and I'll start breaking down bad and I'll start choking from crying so much, and then my eyes will swell and they'll turn really red, and then that's when I can't hide from my parents, because most often I can cry at night and then just fall asleep and sleep it off, and then in the morning I look normal. But there are days where I'll cry at bad times during the day where they'll catch me and then they'll just figure it out. Luckily, it's been 3 months that I've managed to keep it during the night, so that way they think everything's perfectly normal, which I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing. But my mom and dad are very stressful people. Not with me, but they get stressed out really easily, so I've been trying to keep my problems with myself, because anything that is wrong with me rubs off on them. So I find that keeping my problems to myself kind of benefits them. Not so much myself, because I kind of bottled it up. It used to be where I could at least talk to my mom or dad about it, even though I hated their lectures about me just snapping out of it and thinking positive, because we all know if you have depression and you're like me, you know that telling someone to snap out of it and to just think positive is not going to help you for shit. Excuse my language, but I remember my mom's had several women from church come and talk to me, and those things don't really help me. I've had one telling me that people who commit suicide go to hell. Oh, is that supposed to make me feel better? And she was also, I forgot what she said, something about lesbians going to hell too, and I'm bisexual, so I don't really think that helped me. If anything, it made me feel worse than I already do. So no thanks for that to those ladies, but I guess I gotta be thankful for them spending their time to try to help me, but even though it didn't work at all. I've been extremely suicidal this week. There was a period of time in which I didn't really contemplate suicide anymore. It was more if it happens to me one day where I die young, I wouldn't really care. And that's how I was. I wasn't necessarily suicidal, but I didn't care if I died. And now it's to a point where I wanna die, and it's not. It's kind of I'm getting into that mindset of killing myself again, which I really don't want to bring up to my parents, because they're already stressed out about millions of things right now, and I really don't want to bring my problems onto them. So, and I quite honestly don't have anyone. I find it more comfortable talking to someone who has depression about it, because they understand what it's like. And when I talk to someone who doesn't have it, they try to give me all these lectures about thinking positive and not worrying about looks, not worrying about this and that, and it doesn't help me at all. I'd rather talk to someone who's familiar with it, which might sound kind of selfish, might sound kind of stuck up about me, and I don't mean to say it that way. It's hard trying to explain yourself to someone who's never dealt with it, because they just think there's an easy way out, and if that was the case, I wouldn't have dealt with this for 7 years. I got a feeling these diaries are really going to be really, really long, but I don't know. I guess it'll be beneficial, maybe, hopefully. My mom made me burn my old diary, and I used to have so much stuff in there. It was tons of suicide notes in there too, so I guess it was kind of beneficial that I burned it. But I don't know. The only thing that holds me back from suicide is my mom and dad and my brother and sister. anyone else in this world I could honestly give two fucks about. And I don't mean to say that sound rude. I don't know. I'm a very lonely person. I love being alone. I love not interacting with others. I don't like the idea of friends. I like the idea of going places by myself, being alone at home by myself. I hate when people come up to visit me. I hate when people try to be friends with me. I guess the idea of being lonely upsets me, but being alone, I like. I'm just very difficult like that. So, and I also feel like a lot of my friends are only friends with me due to my depression, which pisses me off because I really don't need anyone's sympathy. I don't want people to be there for me because they feel bad for me. I want people to be there for me because they genuinely care. And I hate, I don't know, I guess I've never really fit in anywhere. Like, I got, in elementary school, I used to be, like, really, really bullied. But it wasn't, like, physical bullying, more like mental and words. And if any of you know anything about bullying, you know both are equally as bad. Getting told how ugly you are on a daily basis by little kids is just the same as being called it by a grown adult, if not worse, because you're getting it done every day. I don't know, I think they're exactly the same. They're both exactly as hurtful. And I got told it every single day in elementary school, and I'm aware of it, but being told it lowers your self-esteem to even more of a lower level. So now I just have no self-esteem. I'm surprised I'm even doing these diaries because, I don't know, I think watching them I'm just gonna break down more. But I find this easier than having to write all this down, because if this is 7 minutes of me talking to a camera already, I would have never gotten all this written down on paper. That would have been like half the book already. So I'd rather avoid wasting paper. I'd rather use paper to draw my feelings out instead of writing. I also think to myself, the one thing that also keeps me alive is the fact that I want to see my little sister graduate and get married, and my little brother. I don't want to have them all sad at their graduation because of me. I don't want to see my little sister cry, wishing I was there, or my little brother. I don't know, I think that's the most upsetting thing to imagine. I can guarantee if I was an only child, I wouldn't be here right now. But having siblings, it's almost like having children. They have to think twice before doing anything. They're like my babies. Even though they're not babies, but they're young. My little sister's 13, my little brother is 15. So they're not young, but they're pretty young. So, I love you guys. I don't know if I'm gonna be here in 5-10 years. Oh my god, I'm gonna cry. I love them a lot. I love my mom. I love my dad. But I don't love myself. I'm disappointed in myself because I'm just surrounded by so much pressure. I'm not smart. I'm not an athlete. I'm not some really, really outstanding person who's gonna get somewhere. I don't have any special hobbies. I don't have any special talent. I have nothing going for me, so I don't want to be a burden with my parents. I don't want to be like 40-year-old kid living with their dad or mom. I always ask God, like, why couldn't he have had it where it would have just been my little brother and sister born and not me? And I know that's something that it's often said, but it's true. Because obviously if I wasn't born, they would have not known about me and I wouldn't have to deal with this. I don't want to sacrifice my own happiness in order to make them happy. But if I kill myself, then I'm putting a burden on them, and then they're gonna be forever sad, and I'm gonna be okay. So do I live my whole life unhappy to make them happy? Or do I end my life to make myself happy but make them unhappy? So either way, it's a lose-lose. I don't know what to do. This has taken my whole life away. I'm like so emotionally drained. It used to be where I could spend hours and hours just crying and crying, and now it's more like I just sit there thinking about what a shitty ass person I am. And how much I hate myself.